In our Friendship International class, we have a little bonus this month of a mini album. And last week I showed you how to put the pages together, the covers together, the album covers. And we're going to be working on our bigger album this week and cutting the pages for the bigger album. But some of you might like to go ahead and you might want to work on your little album. So I wanted to talk to you about how to make the spine hinges. And I'm going to show you two methods, but I'm only going to teach you one because after making two different kinds, I found Claire Chavez' method easier to teach. So in your little baggies of goodies, you got a 2-inch spine by 5.5 inches. And the reason is, I thought you might want to hang keys or other implements on the back of your albums. So this one is solid. I just put a dot where I wanted a hole, and I'm using a crocodile to make a hole. And all you do is find where you want to make the hole and punch. And then when we want to think of what your back piece is before we attach the spine. Because if you put that little decorative part in the hole, you want to do it before you put the spine on, but you might want to think about your decorative piece too. I did not, and I ended up with only a small piece of a very boring color, so I have to think of how to decorate it. So you stick the prongs inside the hole that I made ahead for you. You don't need to, you have enough mat board to cut another one if you don't want a hole, you want your spine flat. Then you turn this over, open your prongs, and before you put any spine on, you're going to take a piece of your black tape or double-sided tape, and you're going to put it over the prongs so that it's not sharp, so it's not sharp. I'm going to take that off because I'm not going to attach this spine. I just want to teach you about spines. I'm going to demonstrate with one I did already. So the first part of preparing to put your spine on, you have to have a spine cover. And I made a piece that is 2 7/8 by 5 3/8. And that's going to cover my spine. And I'm going to just put 4 pieces of tape on it, on the edge and then on the other side. And when I remove those tapes and put them on, it will not be solid, but it will give you a flexibility of your spine. You do not want to put a lot of glue on this backing piece. You just want to get it adhered. And you can see it will fall into these grooves. I actually scored mine. So it'll fall right into the groove, so it'll give you a nice flexibility once it's attached. So that's where the spine is going. This spine that we're going to make is going to go right centered inside of there. Okay, now to make the spine, you have to decide how many pages you want. If you got the Blue Skies paper, you have enough to make 8 pages. Some of you only got a half a pack of this bright colored paper, and that's the one I'm doing my sample with right now. So I only put 6 pages. What you do is you're going to cut 3 or 4, your choice, of spines. Like this is an 8 spine, this is a 6 spine. I'm going to make another 8 because my Blue Skies will have 8. So you're going to take these size papers, 2 3/4 by 5/8, 2 1/4 by, no, start again, 2 3/4 by 5 3/8, 2 1/4 by 5 3/8, 1 3/4 by 5 3/8, and 1 1/4. And I put by 5 1/4, but I found that it needed a little bit more room, so I think I'm making my new ones 1 1/8. When you do that, you're then going to score on the sides. And you can score like I showed you in Thursday's class with your cutter, but you also can line up your paper on a score it all or a score pal, and then just run your tool down the sides. It has measurements on both sides. I find what's really nice about this is it hardly ever tears through. There's no point on the tool. There's a groove, and the groove fits over a piece of metal. So that's a nice little tool to have. Once they're scored, and you're going to score all 4 of these pieces, you're going to bend it down, burnish it a little. In fact, burnish it a lot. You want it to be really flexible, both sides. And then the procedure is quite simple. You either can go from big to small or small to big. I like small to big. You're going to fold up your score marks, put glue on the back, and place it in the center of the next size. So I'm just going to use tacky glue. Spread it out a little. Fold it together like this and place it halfway in the middle. This is going to give you a space between your spine hinges. So now I have 2, 4, 6 spines. Now for the, I want 8. I didn't even add any glue, paper tape this time. I'm just adding liquid, but you can put paper tape if you want around the edges. But the glue holds really well. I got a little on the side, just rub it off. And if you hold the folds like that, you can get right to the edge with your glue. Place it in the middle. And your spine, after it dries, is ready to be adhered in the middle of your album. Now there's one more little step. I'm going to show it to you while this dries. I'll let this dry before I play with it. The other little step is to cut off your spines at an angle. This will make it fit easy if you have any pocket pages. We're going to be doing 3 or 4 different types of pages, and that'll be on another video. But just cut a little angle on each one of these 8 pieces, both sides. So now this album is half done. And I want to show you how you attach the pages. You usually start from the back. You have a spine sitting up inside your album, and you're going to put glue on the back, and then you're going to place your finished page right on the spine like that if it's a single page. You can do it all in black and then decorate after, but I like to decorate first. Here I'm going to put a brad on here for a little policy envelope design, and so I haven't even glued it all. But I have my spine, and I laid this against it and glued it. Now, if you have pocket pages, you're actually going to be placing a pocket page right on top. And most of these ones are single pages because I ran out of black paper. I'm trying to use what I gave you so that I guess you could have another color. But here you can see it is not attached well to the spine, but that gives it some flexibility so that the pages, when you open them, they'll fall out. They'll fall in place. So let's just You can then decorate. See, I don't decorate the backs if I do decorate it. I leave them plain or leave something on that doesn't touch. I then can go back and add my decorations, and it will cover up all of that spine work. So we'll be doing more of that when I teach you how to decorate your albums, but you can add the special effects afterwards.